Weekends are more than just blank spots on a calendar. They are soft pauses in life's rush. They are where warmth gathers around the dining table, where quiet love is ladled into bowls. For many elderly loved ones, the weekend meal is the highlight of the week. It's when the kitchen smells like childhood again. It's when time slows down and laughter, familiar, gentle, returns to the room. But food for older adults shouldn't only be tasty. It should be kind to their digestion, kind to tired joints, kind to hearts that beat a little slower now. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 weekend dishes, easy to cook, easy to eat, and full of quiet care. Because sometimes the most powerful kind of love doesn't come from grand gestures. It comes from soup simmering on a Sunday, from soft rice, a warm spoon, a quiet hand reaching out and saying, "You matter, you're still loved." At first glance, this little pumpkin cake may look simple, but inside, it holds something quiet, something soft, something made with care. I steam fresh pumpkin, mash it until smooth, and mix it with warm oats. In the center, I hide a small spoonful of tender apple, steamed until it melts at the touch. No sugar, no frying, just natural sweetness wrapped in warmth. When I placed one on Grandpa's plate, he smiled, amused. "What is this? A new kind of mooncake?" he teased. But after one bite, he grew quiet, chewed slowly, then looked up and said, "It's soft. It tastes like something your grandma would have made." That's the kind of food I believe in. Food that doesn't shout, but remembers. Food that doesn't just feed the body, but also whispers to the heart, "You are still loved." I call this my golden sunshine soup. It begins with fresh baby corn, simmered gently, then blended into a smooth, golden base. I warm it with homemade nut milk, almond or walnut, and finish it with a few soft curls of leek. No heavy cream, no salt bomb, just sweetness that comes from nature. It's the kind of soup that doesn't fill you up with weight, it fills you up with warmth. On cool weekend afternoons, I bring this out in a quiet bowl. Grandpa takes a sip, leans back, and closes his eyes for a moment. "This tastes like something I had when I was a boy," he says, and that's what this soup does. It doesn't just nourish, it remembers. Some weekend mornings, Grandpa doesn't want to sit too long at the table. Maybe his knees are tired. Maybe he just wants something light, something that feels like a break from the usual routine. So I started making rice balls. Small, warm, easy to hold. I cook brown rice until soft, mix in toasted white sesame and finely minced carrot. Inside, I tuck a spoonful of steamed tuna, gently flaked and moistened with a drizzle of olive oil. Each one is wrapped in a thin sheet of seaweed, like a quiet little present. When I handed him one, he held it for a second, smiled, and said, "This feels like picnic food." Then he sat on the front steps in the quiet shade of the old tree and ate slowly, like time had stopped. We didn't go anywhere that day. No parks, no packed bags, no train rides. But in that moment, with one simple rice ball, and the breeze brushing through the doorway, the world felt lighter, and I realized, you don't always need to travel far to feel free. Sometimes all it takes is one thoughtful meal made with love. Some meals don't need to be impressive. They don't need garnishes or complex techniques. They just need to feel gentle, like someone took their time, like someone remembered. That's exactly what this dish is. I start with egg tofu, soft as silk, fragile like a whisper. I slice it carefully, place each piece in a steaming dish, and let it warm through until the edges tremble slightly, just enough to hold. No oil, no frying, no harsh flavors. While the tofu steams, I make the sauce. Shiitake mushrooms, earthy, familiar, sliced thin. Fresh ginger, minced finely, just enough to warm the stomach, not burn the throat. A touch of sesame oil. A splash of light soy. That's all. The kind of sauce that doesn't take over but wraps around. Gently. When everything is ready, I spoon the sauce over the tofu. It glistens. It smells like comfort. Not the kind of comfort that shouts, but the kind that sits beside you and stays a while. I place the bowl in front of Grandpa. He didn't say much at first, just took one spoonful, paused, then looked up at me and said, This tastes like something you make for someone you love." And he was right. This dish wasn't complicated. It wasn't trendy. But in that moment, it carried so much more than flavor. It carried memory. Of the meals Grandma used to make, of quiet Sunday dinners, of being cared for not loudly but consistently. I didn't need to say anything, because the food already did. It said, "I see you. I know you're tired, and I'm still here." I didn't just want to make a drink. I wanted to make something that could quiet the mind, something soft, something that felt like exhaling after a long day. So I took a ripe pear and gently steamed it, just enough to bring out its natural sweetness. Then I blended it with fresh apple slices, a pinch of cinnamon for warmth, and a spoonful of chia seeds for comfort. No sugar, no preservatives, just fruit and time and intention. I served it warm, not hot. A gentle warmth that said, "Slow down, you're safe now." When I handed it to Grandpa, he took one sip, closed his eyes, and smiled. "This tastes like a hug," he said, and he was right. It didn't rush him. It didn't overwhelm. It just held him in the way that only something made with quiet love can. This wasn't just a drink. It was a way of saying, "You've done enough for today. You're not alone. It's okay to rest now." You don't need to be a chef. You don't need a 5-star kitchen or shelves full of supplements and powders. What you need is a quiet heart, a pair of hands willing to prepare something simple, and the intention to say, "I care. I see you. I'm here." Even if it's just a soft pumpkin cake, even if it's only a warm pear drink with a sprinkle of cinnamon, what you're serving isn't just food. It's presence. It's dignity. It's love served quietly, one spoon at a time. Because sometimes, healing doesn't come from medicine or a doctor's visit. It begins with a meal made gently and placed in front of someone you love. So this weekend, start with one dish, just one. Sit beside your mother, your grandfather, your partner, watch them smile, share that silence, and know you are doing something beautiful. For the elderly, being fed is comfort, but being fed with love, that's what brings peace. And for those of us who cook, to care for someone with food is one of the quietest, purest forms of love we'll ever know. Finally, you don't need to be a great chef. You don't need a fancy kitchen or a complicated recipe. You just need a little time, a little listening, and a little love. Because for grandparents, every meal is a time to remember. Remember the days when they were young, when they were taken care of. Now they just need a child sitting next to them, an easy-to-swallow dish, a gentle look. And if you're watching this video, maybe you're thinking of someone, an elderly mother, a father who often forgets meals, a grandfather who can only eat a few soft foods. So let's start today. Not too much, just one dish. Cook for them, eat with them, call them to the table. Ask a small question: did you enjoy your meal today? And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who is caring for a parent or grandparent. Because love isn't something grand, it starts with a meal, a spoonful of porridge, a gentle touch on the hand of a loved one.